Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video in Wild Rift. So we're back with the Caitlyn Supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at on-hit Caitlyn. So I call it on-hit because, we have Blade of the Rune King, we have Runans, and these are kind of on-hit items, but this is not really a full kind of on-hit build, and it's a little bit of a funky one, to be really honest, because this one kind of was really popular when Lethal Tempo first got reworked. So the whole basis of this build is you get the bonus range from Lethal Tempo. Caitlyn's already the longest base range in the game. And you get Runan's, the bug slash feature on Runan's where basically you can attack people outside of your attack range as long as you have a target to hit. Like sort of how when you hit minions, you can hit like people behind the minions because of the Runan's passive. But basically, that's the whole basis of the build. So you start the build off with the Gluttonous Grease for the AD and Omnivamp as usual. Then you go into Terminus first item because Bork first item is pretty weak, right? Unless you're against like a tank or something like that, but Terminus first item is just going to be better. You get AD, a lot more AD, attack speed, on-hit magic damage, and of course we have the stacking resistances and the stacking penetration, which is of course going to be really good. Then we get Bork, of course attack speed, attack damage, physical vamp, the health damage on hit. We have the drain passive, of course for the little bit of burst, also of course get a bit of movement speed, and then of course the crux of the build, the Runan's Hurricane, gives you attack speed, allows you to attack 3 people at the same time, allows you to attack people out of your range, and of course you get a little bit of AD and a little bit of on-hit damage as well. Then for the last 2 items we go for Bloodthirster, gives you a large amount of AD. Of course Omnivamp, that's where you get all of your stats in, and then last item you go for a defensive option. Generally it's going to be Maw. So for the runes, of course, Lethal Tempo for the attack speed and the range, Brutal because you auto attack a lot, Giant Slayer to counter the tanks, or Coup de Grace if you're against a very squishy team, I guess, and Legend Alacrity just for a little bit more attack speed, and of course Bone Plating for the defensive stats. And then for the spells we have Flash together with Ghost. You could go for Exhaust if there's multiple assassins as well, but generally Ghost is going to be better. But with all that said, let's now hop into the gameplay and see how this works. Okay. So now let's take a look at our actual gameplay itself. Now, as I said, this build is not really meant to counter tanks. Like, yes, you have Blade of the Rune King, so you do counter tanks, but you don't necessarily want to particularly build this against a very tanky team. In fact, I don't generally recommend you build this at all. I think that the general normal build of either the Stormrazor build or just going for a Bloodthirster into a normal build is better. Like, this unhit build is a little bit of an experiment for a lot of Caitlyn players like myself as well, because it's of course always going to be interesting to try out new builds and see if they work and things like that. So every time I see a new build or something like that, I'm always going to give it a try. Like for example, Arcane Comet on Jhin, I'm going to give that a try. I've pretty much told you guys that it's horrible this entire time. I haven't actually tried it myself yet, but I am planning to actually try it, although I do think in theory that it'll be horrible, but you never know if you never try. So that's definitely what I'm going to do here. So here, the Varus is in lane, but the Pyke is not. So we realize that Pyke is missing. So sometimes you have these kind of unique solo queue situations where, this kind of things happen. So here we actually pop the fruit to deny them their fruit, which gives us a minor lane advantage. But the wave is now kind of stuck a little bit outside their tower, so it's a little bit awkward here. I'm going to have to shove in the wave a little bit. But like I say, this is kind of just a little bit of a cheesy build to kind of take advantage of the Caitlyn long base range to combine with the bonus Lethal Tempo range into the Runan's feature slash bug, which allows you to get insane kinds of range. So here, Swing gets hooked into the tower, dies to the Pyke, I get exhausted, I'm kind of getting caught out myself, I'm ghosting myself away, I still have my flash here, and honestly I thought I would dodge the Pyke hook, so I did not flash, but my greed with my flash ends up causing me to die. I get emoted by the Swain. I'm not sure if he's laughing at me or he's laughing at himself, but either way, we end up both dying. Varus and Pyke both pick up 1 kill, and I guess you couldn't really start the game in a worser way, right? We both end up giving a kill over to our counterparts, and yeah, that's not good whatsoever. But I guess the game is not really lost. I mean, to be fair, Varus, is like the strongest ADC in the game right now. You definitely don't want to give him a kill, and Pyke is really strong at getting picks and snowballing as well because he builds lethality, of course, so we don't really want to give him a kill either. So yeah, it's a really rough one. So yeah, now we have shoved in the wave and there's not really that much we can do, so we're just getting a little bit of tower damage. We won't be able to get a plate, of course, but just a little bit of damage will do. And in this case, the Varus even has pressed the attack, so he's really strong early game here. Talon comes in. I still have my flash. I'm just gonna flash on the tower to ensure he can't kill me. No Pike hook already, so I'm just using my range to attack Pike as well as the Varus. Getting my hit shot onto the Varus as well. Here Fizz is coming in for a gang, so we're heavy coming in. They both get CC'd. Varus of course dies to Fizz because he has no way out. Pike is going to be able to run away, but Talon is getting chunked, getting bullets put into his back by me, but of course we don't really have the damage to finish him off, unfortunately. But you know, we do salvage the situation a little bit. Pike channeling another hook, hooks the bush, but no one is in there. Now there's not a lot Pike can really do to defend the tower by himself. He tries to go in on me, and he actually does go in on me. I try to sidestep his ulti, but I do get hit by it. He does end up dying to my team though. Talon goes back in as well, nearly dies for it. But yeah, it's a rough start for me. I'm 0 and 2. And generally when you have this kind of starts on Caitlyn, the 0 and 2 starts, the game doesn't really normally go very well because as we know, Caitlyn is kind of an early game champion who wants to snowball into mid and late game. But I guess this game is going to be an example for you guys to show that even though sometimes you play an early game champion and you die a couple of times, it doesn't mean the game is over. Like, if you're a Draven, you die twice in lane, I mean the game is kind of over, but it isn't over, right? You know, you're definitely in a bad spot, but it's not like the game is auto lost just because you died twice in the lane. It certainly is going to make the game a lot harder, but the game is not over until it's actually over. So here, you know, we're back in lane where, you know, we're a little bit, I wouldn't say tilted, but definitely a little bit of a rough spot now. A little bit of a rough patch. So, yeah. So now, you know, Pike is roaming down in bot. So we know Varus is alone. So we want to take advantage of this fact, and we want to try to get some tower plates. Swain has demolished, so he's going to probably be able to demolish proc onto the tower, which he does. You know, we're just salvaging whatever we can. Like, if you really take a look at the goal, I'm only like 400 gold behind Varus. And he's 2 and 1 and I'm 0 and 2. So I think that's already pretty commendable. So here again we're picking up the next wave. We're going for again more of the tower. Varus gets slept here, does ult, and I'm able to actually kill him before his ult spreads to me. And then we're fine. So now with the help of our jungler, we're actually gonna be able to get the first tower of the game. And you know, Swain gets the tower here, and here we actually want to reset, but we see that the dragon is up. So we need to help our Lilia out with the dragon a little bit. So we're going to head over and just DPS the dragon with her. Fizz is here to help as well. I'm just taking the fruit for the mana just in case, you know, a whole full-on fight breaks out because I'm a little bit low on mana here. We get the dragon. I put the traps in there because in case Talon jumps the wall, he's going to jump straight into a trap, which he might not expect. So here I get both my Terminus components. Of course, the Terminus build path, completely insane, you know, longsword, not longsword, BF sword and recurve bow, amazing items. So here everybody is in mid, so I'm making my way to mid to see if I can, you know, get anything done. Now something to note is Varus is still in top, he's still pushing. So here we're trying to finish off the Twisted Fate, which we do, and Talon's coming in from behind for the assassination. Now, surprisingly, he does really little damage. And now I'm flashing away, I'm free hitting onto the Garen. Mimics proc onto my tower, Varus procs the Mimics, and he's free hitting onto the tower as well. So we're wasting a lot of time here. We get the kill onto the Pike, we're ulting the Garen, we get the kill onto the Garen as well. We pick up a double kill, and Varus is picking up all of our tower plates in the meanwhile. But thankfully, I'm also picking up the tower plates in mid, although it is shared with the Swain a little bit. But we do get a number of kills as well. So overall, I have a slight goal lead against the Varus, which is pretty nice. And we get the entire mid lane tower as well. So I went from 0 and 2 to now 3 and 2 out of nowhere. And now we are actually ahead of the Varus. So yeah, as I say, you know, these kind of situations do happen, and you know, these messy games do happen. We complete our Terminus, which of course is going to be a pretty big spike. And no one is going bot, so I'm actually going to go bot to pick up the bot wave. And Lilia is not hitting to bot. Don't steal my bot wave, please. She's definitely thinking about it. She's doing it. Yeah. So anyways, we basically get the majority of it. She's trying to steal the last one too. Come on, man. And I don't even try to steal her Krugs. But yeah, so we can see a couple of people in top lane. We can see Garen here. You know, here I'm just free hitting on him. I'm actually free stacking my lethal tempo. Now Camille goes in on him. He takes a chunk of damage. Has to flash away. Twisted Fate is ulting. I try to ult him down as well, but he survives on 1 HP. Twisted Fate comes in with the ulti. He has the stun card, but me and Camille are both here. So we can actually 2v1 him. So he has to run. He hack splashes away, as he should. And we're back trying to push in the lane. Yeah, so I guess he was trying to help out his Garen there, but his Garen was already in a position where he couldn't fight at all, so like Twisted Fate ends up replacing Garen in the 2v1 scenario. But they both do survive though, at least for the moment. Pyke is now here as well, so it's a little bit, you know, a little bit of a sticky situation. Pyke is definitely gonna hook, so I'm gonna quickly dash back. Pyke is going in all the way. He actually goes into the bush, and I'm trying to get damage down on him. Garen is really low, dies to Camille, I believe. No, dies to Swain. And Swain is chasing in all the way to the Talon. And now me and Camille are gonna unload on this tower. Last tier 1 tower up for the enemy team, so we're gonna just try to get that. Now Talon is here, but he can't really defend because he's melee. The minions do end up dying though, so we can't actually continue to push, but on the next wave when we push in, we should be able to get the tower. Talon shouldn't be able to actually do anything, because he's melee, he can't really clear the minions, and he can't really go in on us either. So we are able to relatively easily pick up the tower. And at this point, we actually have the most gold in the game. Just marginally though, because Varus is like less than 100 gold behind us, but we actually have the most gold in the game marginally, and we're in a pretty good spot. So the next dragon is coming up soon, but the party apparently starts early because everyone is just skirmishing around the area, despite the fact that there's no objective actually up. So I'm just trying to join the party. I don't want to be excluded from the party. I'm running in, trying to catch up basically, but nothing actually ends up happening on my part because I don't actually end up catching up to the party, and instead we're just gonna clear mid wave. So here I believe I have enough for Bork, so I'm gonna back and get the Bork spike before Dragon comes up. I mean, honestly, Bork in this match, like, there's not a lot of health on the enemy team. Even Garen, who's supposed to be the tank, is building lethality for some reason. So I guess Bork is not really that useful in this particular match. But yeah, here I'm trying to get this red buff before Dragon spawns. There is enough time to get the red buff and go over. I'm trying to let the leash the Lilia the red buff, and she gets it. I get the buff share, and we need to make our way over to the Dragon. She takes the Hex Gate to go over. I'm gonna walk there manually, and we do end up entering the area without really any contest, and we are on the Dragon. I'm putting up the traps to try to dissuade the enemy team from walking near. Garen steps into a trap. I'm now free hitting onto Garen to stack up my lethal tempo. We get the Dragon. I'm still free hitting onto the Garen. He's taking a chunk of damage. Dies to Swain again. Swain's getting a lot of these kills. Next up is the Pyke. I flash over, and sure Twisted Fate cannot escape. And I'm in a 1v1 against Varus. Unfortunately, he has exhaust, so, and he has minions. So it actually ends up being a 1-for-1 trade between me and Varus. And I would say that, of course, if he didn't have exhaust or if he didn't have minions, I win that one. But unfortunately, he does. So it ends up being a very even trade. Like, yeah. So now Camille is just going to take this mid lane tower. We're still in a really solid spot. We're 5, 3, and 9 with, you know, 9k gold. We're now a little bit behind the Varus, but, you know, we are very competitive with, you know, everyone else in the game. Our Lilia is getting very fat though. She's 5 and 2. And here we are looking for our Runans. Of course, we want to get to Runans, which is going to be the major item spike for this particular build, because it's going to let you take advantage of all of your range to just, you know, attack people when they can't even reach anywhere remotely near you. And that's the whole point of this build. It's like the free hit build, basically. I guess that's what I'm gonna title the video. I'm gonna title it the free hit build. I'm naming it that, but yeah. So here, enemy team is all around the Dragon Pit area, even though there's no dragon again. My team is looking for a pick onto the pipe. We do get it. And here we're now chasing onto Twisted Fate or Varus, but nothing ends up... I mean, we can't really chase them in blindly, so we're gonna just end up clearing the minions. Nothing too much really comes of it. Baron is coming up in 20 seconds, but it's not very likely we can just straight up do Baron. For some reason, Garen comes in on the side, and the fight ends up restarting. Both of them die before Twisted Fate and Varus can actually catch up. So they all basically end up dying. Varus is now getting run down. I'm trying to catch up, and we do get a couple of shots in for the assist. And yeah, the whole enemy team is dead. So Baron is definitely doable. So I'm actually pinging for Baron. Like, let's do Baron, guys. You know, like, whole enemy team is dead. It's perfect time for Baron. I pop the fruit for Camille to take because she's running a little bit low. She kind of ignores it though and goes straight for the Baron. Now has to retreat to the fruit. But yeah, 3 of us will be able to take Baron by ourselves. In the meanwhile, Swain is pushing mid or / distracting the Pyke, depends on how you want to see it. We take Baron. And we are going to base. Swain ends up dying to the enemy team though, which is of course not great, but he did kind of do his job of basically distracting them and ensuring that that they are not able to interfere with us taking Van. I'm very close to Runans. I really wanna, you know, get some farm and get Runans. Although we have the TX, we're kind of losing quite a bit of tempo because I'm not really pushing with the TX. But I think the Runan spike is really like kind of worth it. So I'm gonna quickly back, get the Runans, and I'm gonna try to join my team. Now, unfortunately, my TX pilot, which is the Fizz, is going in by himself, and he's completely unguarded. So here I was actually initially going for the red buff and gonna help him. But Garen is fighting Camille, and this looks like a free kill to me. Looks like unacceptable how far in front Garen is. And he ends up dying to my red buff. So now the TX is still alone. And I'm leaving Camille to split push because that's Camille's job. I'm trying to join back with my T-Hex, which at this point has been on the map for a good while without me actually helping him at all. Which of course is not very optimal. And that's completely on me. But here I'm trying to join back up with my TX and take the mid lane inhibitor. Looks like the TX is going to do that just fine. Not quite because he doesn't have minions. So here Pyke goes in ult the T-Hex, which does give him an ult reset apparently. I'm now using the Runan's range and my my long base range to just try to see who I can hit. I place the trap down on the entire mid lane, so no one can actually step out of the base through mid unless they step on the trap. Fizz tries to go in on Pyke, and Pyke is really low. I nearly kill him, but he lives on like 1 HP. Now we're heading onto the tower here. Varus out, Talon goes in, and here you can see I'm using my range. I'm free hitting here. I'm free hitting like 3 of them. I flash in for the third kill. Swain is tanking, so I'm gonna walk out relatively safely. And here Garen dies as well. Only Pyke is left alive, and with the wave we can basically end the game. Ruins is proccing onto the Pyke though, not really what I want, because I want to just end the game. Yeah, so here I'm just hitting onto the base, and we do get the end. You can see how the bonus range and the Runas really works in this game though, so definitely did demonstrate that really well. So I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.